Acha hai.
Acha.
Acha hai. Acha hai. Namaste. Everything. All of it. Okay? Everything.
That was not the right.
Does that not work? No.
Then ghanta.
Kanta.
Ghanta.
Ghanta. But there's a little
Bow, yeah.
There's a little, yeah.
Okay?
Namaste. Namaste.
Okay, so considering this point, what would be your worst purchase till date? As in like personal purchase. You bought something for yourself and that like was not that good.
Just a piece of garbage, eh?
Yeah, complete garbage.
Why is it hard for me to remember? It's so hard to distinguish because oftentimes I make videos sometimes called Does It Suck?
Yeah.
Where I buy something that I expect it to be garbage. And then
So something which is unexpected.
unexpected garbage. The iPhone 10. We got it on camera. Oh man, I didn't mean that. I didn't mean that. All right, I'm just having fun. Relax. I'm just having fun here.
There's a disclaimer below.
Yeah.
Down with India.
Yeah.
Indian
I don't
whiskey.
know. Honestly, that's a hard one. Nothing comes to mind immediately.
But honesty comes out first, so
Honesty
he already has the answer
honesty
here.
comes out first. No, I mean it was too good of a joke to
Okay,
pass
so
up.
coming on honesty, we have one more question.
Okay.
Did it ever happen when you screwed on something and you just kept quiet while being on a video, let's say, and the viewers didn't actually recognize that thing happening in
Some kind of mistake.
Yeah,
while
kind of, yeah.
unboxing and
So I
Yes,
made
it
it.
is.
oh pop, I did that, and no one recognized that.
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay, let's cool. No, let's push it in. Yeah.
Interesting. Well, the thing is, my stuff is so edited.
Uh-huh.
Like we have,
Line by line,
like we have Jack, of course. So
By the way,
don't-
Jack might be
I don't know.
somewhere,
He might be there.
yeah.
That might be Jack right there. So yeah, it's unlikely that would happen, that would end up. But sometimes we'll leave things in that we didn't expect.
Mm-hmm.
Like we didn't go into it wanting to be in order to, maybe it helps with the mood or something. I don't know how many of the people on this channel have seen my videos, but it's
Almost all, I would say.
so it's like part of the vibe is the very casual nature of it. The idea that I sit down and that it's going to be fun and so on. So it wasn't always like that. In the early days of my channel, especially when I was working by myself, before it was more of a
Lewis without the cap.
Yeah, exactly. When it was more, it's interesting how it changes when you have just a few people working together.
Uh-huh.
All of a sudden, it's like
A big team and
it's more like you're hanging out with people. And so I noticed a change in the way that I was speaking to the camera because I was envisioning speaking to my friends, kind of.
Yeah.
It was more
you get used to it.
yeah, it was easier to relate to the idea that behind each camera is a person.
Uh-huh.
On the other side of that lens is a bunch of people, whatever, millions of people. And I think sometimes it's easy to forget that when you're just sitting there all alone. So that was a big change for us. And because of that, we ended up leaving in a lot of the banter, a lot of that stuff that you would never see in a tech video.
Just like making some noise with the table and then just keeping it on loop.
Sure. Yeah. Or there's been edits where I think Jack put together an entire beat of just sounds that happened in the video. So it's been it's fun to experiment with that stuff, and I think at least for me it's helped to make the content authentic. Like that is what's happening. That is the way it went down. So you get to see it.
Go back 20 seconds. There was a hint that Jack is real.
Jack
Was there?
is real.
Was there?
10 million,
just
come on,
mentioned
reveal. It's coming in.
Listen, Jack, if you're watching this, if you're out there, if you exist, you heard it here, that there's an expectation, 10 million subscribers. You're going to have to check my channel, all right? Everybody, stay tuned. I can't say yes or no. I can't say yes or
We
no.
have a big YouTube community in India, and specifically some tech YouTubers that are coming in now. So what would be your frank advice to them? As in, first thing first comes in about the gear, because many of them are students, not having that much of budget to buy an expensive camera or something. So what one advice would you give considering the gear parts, like how to shoot videos
Yeah.
on a beginner's level?
So for me, in the early days, I would find ways to rig stuff up that isn't even intended for that purpose.
Uh-huh.
So I remember I took a trip to the hardware store and bought like desk lamps, a bunch of desk lamps. So it was like, of course, one would not be enough light.
Uh-huh.
We of course have some lights over here. So I would just buy 10
Uh-huh.
and then have them all tangled up. The very first place that I shot was actually a closet.
Okay.
Maybe not the very first. Maybe it was like the second spot that I shot in. But I had a closet in the master bedroom. It was a walk-in closet, so it was a fairly large closet. But nonetheless, many Unbox Therapy viewers had no idea that that's where it was happening because it was white walls. It was like, I don't know where this is. So I had the clothing rail across the top, which is where all these lamps were wired up, and then we sort of blew out
all DIY stuff.
Yeah, all DIY.
So we call it Jugaadu in India, like
Jugaad is the word for DIY.
Oh, okay,
India.
cool.
So you have fully Jugaadu.
Whenever
I
you are
Jugaadu.
stuck, Jugaadu. Yeah,
Jugaadu. It was my whole setup was Jugaadu. Okay.
Jugaadu.
Yeah. But that's what I would say is like if you're on a limited budget, there are ways to get things done. And certainly with access to YouTube, you can see other people who have done it.
Yeah.
There's plenty of great DIY videos for lighting setups, camera setups, and so on.
It's like focus on the content, I would say. Like, just start doing with whatever you have currently in hand. Maybe your smartphone, maybe your basic, basic light or something. Just do it.
Sure, yeah. If you're and also I would say just if you have a passion for something, I mean, whether it's this segment, tech, or something else, try to focus on that, because one of the biggest issues that I had early on, and even up until this point, is being consistent with it and making sure that you're always creating stuff. And so if you pick a category that you're kind of lukewarm on,
you'll never be consistent.
Yeah, you'll just find a way to trail off, and it'll be tough.
Excuses all the time.
You'll find excuses. So, and that gets me to my last tip. What I've done recently is, by having a studio and a kind of permanent setup, is to remove the friction between shooting and not shooting. So in other words, the amount of peripheral stuff you have to do, setup and things like this, if you can just push a button and go, chances are that you're going to want to do it more often. Yeah.
You won't procrastinate
Okay.
more.
So, talking YouTube, one thing that you would want to change in YouTube.
Oh. Where the person doesn't have to hit the bell icon.
Perfect answer. Perfect answer.
Yeah.
You know what a bell called in Hindi?
No.
It's ghanta.
Ganta.
So it's like ghanta dabao, notification pao. As in like press the bell and you'll be notified. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
right.
ghanta dabao.
Ganta the bow.
Notification.
Bow.
Yeah. Ghanta dabao notification.
So that you say that all the time. You have to,
in
to say it
the
every
beginning
day,
of my videos.
I know I've resisted having to say it
Yeah.
because it's like, again, for me it's like
But still, people
unnatural.
So every
don't
3
get
years, YouTube comes up with something saying like,
Yeah.
we now have hidden the subscription
I
box,"
understand
or
why
something
they
new.
do it, right? Like they're, again, algorithmically they understand so much about where fatigue sets in for users and the whole package. But maybe if the default was that you would receive the notification
Would have
and
been
then
better, yeah.
and then the recommendation was to potentially turn it down if it was too much. So maybe by default it could be different. One of the things that's being implemented soon that's actually exciting is stories on YouTube. I don't know if you've ever seen this. Reels, they're calling it, but it's essentially stories.
Exactly.
It'll be interesting to see how that works out.
Even
Experiment
the community
with
is good, at least to push the message.
The
Yeah.
community tab.
Yeah.
And another thing
amazing.
I would just say, and this might have more to do with the audience than it does with the platform itself, is just maybe sometimes expectations from an audience, it might restrict you from doing things that you otherwise would have done. In other words, like an audience can kind of force you into doing only similar stuff. It'd be kind of cool if there was a little bit more room for experimentation. But unfortunately, with an algorithmic approach, you get punished too quickly.
Exactly.
By doing something, whereas humans might give you a chance.
The algorithm won't.
The algorithm will not, because it's like, listen, when this guy posts with the keyword iPhone, it crushes. So I get rewarded for speaking about iPhone specifically, even if I want to go out of my way, let's say, to talk about something else. So in a way, it's like, which comes first? Is it content to form itself to the algorithm, or is it algorithm to form itself to content? You know what I mean? It's a little
Mixed
bit
up approach.
That's a weird way of saying
Okay,
it.
so one last easy question.
Yeah.
Talking YouTube, talking Unbox Therapy, talking $20,000 phone and whatnot.
Oh yeah, right.
How much do you earn from YouTube?
How dare you? you think I can answer that right?
We are rolling, so yes.
Listen,
Now
I don't think it's not.
comes a diplomatic answer.
It's a political answer. I'm not giving you any info. No. it's not a secret. I mean, if you're getting millions of views and stuff.
अच्छा नहीं है.
What does that mean?
No,
yeah.
how's the income?
Acha nahi hai.
Acha nahi hai, you want you want more money to come in?
Hey, listen, it wouldn't hurt. All right, let's bring some. No, no, it's good. Like again, with it's a privilege to be able to do it and to have people continue to watch and really you just owe it to the audience at the end of the day. If people continue to watch, then you get rewarded for creating what you create. And I mean, it's no different for either of you guys, right?
Answered perfectly.
Very political. Very political.
So let's stop it before the question comes back to us. And
great. So दोस्तों फिलहाल वीडियो में इतना ही. देखने के लिए आपका बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद. Thanks Luis for being here. And
of course.
Thank you. Thank you for the food.
Well, thank
you. Everything.
For everything. For taking care of me here. I'd be lost without you guys.
Oh, come on. दोस्तों फिलहाल वीडियो में इतना ही. देखने को बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद. अगर आपको कोई सारा सुझाव हो तो आप नीचे कमेंट करना मत भूलिएगा. अगर आपने वीडियो को अभी तक लाइक या शेयर नहीं किया है तो लाइक भी कर दीजिए, शेयर भी कर दीजिए और सब्सक्राइब. अनबॉक्स थेरेपी ऑफ कोर्स आपने कर लिया होगा पहले. लाइक I'm just saying, like, most of my viewers have already been subscribed to you, so no need of promotions here,
No, go ahead, promote.
We want 10 million.
Yeah, we get there sooner. Well, then you can see Jack.
Obviously.
Yes.
दोस्तों फिलहाल वीडियो में इतना ही. बस अभी हम लास्ट में क्या बोलते हैं? जय हिंद.
Jai Hind, Vande Mataram.
Vande Mataram.
Jai Hind, Vande Mataram.
Thank you.
Namaste.